see the golf course.
On the way to pick up my coffee.
Angelica is from University of Santo Tomas, batch 2022 BSMA.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Geckah Dumling, but you guys can call me Geckah. And before I formally begin with this talk, I just would like to put it out there as a disclaimer. Hindi po ako magaling sa math. Perhaps a famous misconception about accountancy students. I was an accountancy student, but never in those 4 years I claimed to be magaling sa math. Or even more so I did, kahit kapiranggot, felt that I was magaling sa accounting. Masuntok naman po yun sa buwan. But why am I saying this? You know, it is such an honor to speak in front of you all. When I was tapped, which of course I'm so grateful for, thank you Miss Raina, she asked me if I could share my CMA journey. At that moment, my candid thoughts were, what will I say? How do I start? Where do I start? After days and days of reflection, of looking back, I just realized na, oh nga no, my CMA journey didn't start with a review. Not even during my freshman classes wherein, after ng quiz 2 namin ng adjusting entries, question na namin why we're even there. I believe it started when I was still deciding on what my college life would look like. Well, unfortunately enough, our batch was the K-12 pioneers. I took my senior high school in UST and nakaka-culture shock. That's the word, nakaka-culture shock. When I was finally deciding on my course and school, frankly sabi ko sa sarili ko, siguro iba naman. Iba namang university since I already know the fashion culture. And masasabi ko naman na tumasino ako. That time, I passed the sets of my dream schools, gratefully. However, sa degree tayo nagkatalo. They were literally far from each other. There was BS Math, Legal Management, International Studies, and finally, BS Accountancy. Then, there came the reservation period. I've been praying so hard. Sabi ko, Lord, help me decide on which path you want me to take. Ironically, I missed the deadline for BS Accountancy. Yeah, I missed it. That was during the senior high school week, and as bida-bida, I was part of the working committee. I only knew about missing the deadline when a classmate of mine was processing her reservation after she missed the same deadline. Imagine, I wouldn't realize it hadn't one of my friends faced the same deficiency. I and my dad then explained my case, even showed my STED results, did some, talking about how I really want this. And the universe just seemed to align by then. Little did I know that that missed opportunity was actually the guidance I was praying for. It's like being told na, edi alam mo na yung gusto ng puso mo. When I was sure that my chances at being an accountancy student were wearing thin, I could just easily give up and choose out of the 3 remaining courses waiting for me. But I was too focused on what I lose. Probably because that's what I have been giving the most importance to in the first place. I just understood it when it was being taken away. Fast forward, I then became a student of the UST Alfredo M. Pelayo College of Accountancy, or as we call ourselves, AMBS. Being a BS org, or someone who joins multiple organizations, I feel like I made the most out of that aspect in my college and university life. Ang dami ko pong pangarap. Ang dami ko pong gustong gawin. I even joined Teatro Tomasino when I was a freshman. But later on, I finally accepted that my degree will really make it so difficult for me to stay in the organization. So I quit, and I let my studies take precedence. I then joined a lot more. Too many words po if I'll specify them. You can just maybe check my LinkedIn profile, sakto open to work po ako. But kidding aside, out of all the orgs I've taken part in, the most relevant to our gathering tonight is that one called UST Society of Business Managerial Accountants. In its papers, the description is mother organization of the UST BS Management Accounting students. My degree. My aspiration to serve as an officer of this organization started during our quote-unquote reclassification era. So during our time, there was this spreadsheet wherein you will input your student number and your program will appear. There are certain criteria and all that are being followed. And as the Gen Z that we are, may Twitter blast po yan kung ano na yung degree ng mga tao, third year their own. When I was scrolling, I just observed na puro BSA, which of course makes me very happy for my friends. But it was just so baffling to me na ratio-wise, wala talaga akong nakikitang iba. I mean, it's not required to post it, but I just want to see at least one post that's different. One for each other degree, namely the BSMA and BSAIS. And so I posted mine. That day, I became more determined to join SBMA and eventually earn the CMA title. During my term, it has been my personal goal to raise more awareness about the BS Management Accounting degree and the CMA title through the projects that we've brainstormed and facilitated. And speaking of, I would like to take the opportunity to address everyone in the room, most especially my CMA batchmates. I hope you acknowledge this moment enough. This is a win. This is our win. And this is a big win. Our degree is not second or third best. It's not a substitute. It's not a safety net to land onto. Whether it's our initial choice or the one given to us, it's the path we're capable of taking, and it's a path we can definitely shine in. This is a global license, a great certification in its own right and not in relation or comparison to anything else. And you've either earned it or yet to earn it. Those are 3 letters beside your name, just the same. I hope, as you celebrate this moment in your life, you intentionally look back at how far you've come. Talk to that little version of you who'd be floored to know where you are right now. I bet you, he or she will definitely say, deserve. You may feel like you have nothing figured out. You may not be working right now, just taking all the time you need to assess and reassess your potentials, your dreams, your career. Like me. And that's in being human. Being extraordinary for taking steps at your own pace. Or you may be in a role that will jumpstart your career, no matter how mediocre you feel. And that's in being brave, for taking that first step despite the uncertainties. Or you may be enrolled in another degree, Maybe because you miss the sleepless nights of being a student, or simply because it feels right. And that's in being patient, gathering all the knowledge and guidelines for the real world. Wherever you may be, or whatever you are doing, regardless of how lost you feel, that's in being you, your race, your timeline, your life. No matter what, take a pause and be proud. Because if you ask me, the privilege of the CMA does not stop when you finally unlocked the badge. It's how you carry it every day. And more importantly, the privilege of the CMA does not start when you've passed the examination. That mere intent to take the exam, the fact that you showed up in the testing center, albeit anxious because of how little of the coverage you've covered, it doesn't matter. We're all sharing that privilege and pride tonight in this room, with our parents, relatives, and friends. And so, I would like to personally thank my support systems. First, of course, my dad for being my rock, my mom for being my guardian angel, my cousin who's here cheering for me every time, my review buddies, my AMBN friends, the professors who helped us with our topics. Same goes to the professors in all the platforms we've checked online to aid our learning. Our review centers for assisting us in the whole process. Our schools and universities that we proudly represent. And lastly, to God, who guided us all throughout. As for me, my CMA journey may have started long before, but up until now, I know I am still just at the beginning of the beautiful professional life that's yet to unfold. Through the course of this speech, I've encouraged you to look back and appreciate your growth. But let's also ponder on what's beyond. They said our future selves will thank us for not giving up. That's true. But also, our future selves trust us to make decisions based on what we have and what we know now. And so, whatever you do from now, stay anxious. But remember, there's more to you. You're CMA now. Be an anxious CMA. Be an anxious, world-class CMA. Because that's what we are. Real, but ever eager to learn. Again, congratulations to the newest batch of Certified Management Accountant Examination Passers. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the night.